This has got to eat up Kamala. Donald Trump is campaigning in her backyard. You have got to check this out.
Up in Kamala's backyard, California, for yet another one of his signature blockbuster press conferences. The former president working like the Energizer Bunny, taking one question after the other, something our press-shy VP couldn't dream of doing, given that she hasn't done a solo presser in 54 days since being crowned as Queen of the Democrats. Trump throwing everything in the kitchen sink at her.
I'm here today in California with a very simple message for the American people. We cannot allow Comrade Kamala Harris and the communist left to do to America what they did to California. Kamala was the godmother of sanctuary cities. She's a radical left Marxist, communist, fascist. She never worked at McDonald's. She said she stood over those French fries when they were being fried, and it was so tough work. She never worked there. She's a liar.
The former president talked for over an hour, but Kamala did speak today, too, responding to one reporter's question, and it was a doozy.
How are you feeling about Pennsylvania?
I am feeling very good about Pennsylvania because there are a lot of people in Pennsylvania who deserve to be seen and heard. That's why I'm here in Johnstown.
Kamala could be getting a free car when she chats with DNC Speaker Oprah Winfrey next week. I can't wait. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is unloading on the biased ABC debate moderators who went on a fact-check rampage against them, while letting Harris hoaxes fly.
I thought the debate was great. I thought I did very well, but I was fighting three people. I was fighting the crazy left radical lunatics at ABC. I lost a lot of respect for David Muir. He came at me with things, and a guy who has good hair, but not as good as it was 5 years ago. David Muir tried to correct me when I said that crime is rampant like never before. This foolish man, this foolish fool.
Oh, this foolish fool. So we're still talking about the debate, Judge Jeanine.
Well, I want to talk about Kamala.
Sure.
I want to talk about the fact that when they asked her how she was feeling about Pennsylvania, she says, I feel good about Pennsylvania because there's a lot of people. And then, like, what did she say? You see, she can't say anything unless she's scripted, Harold. You're going to have to admit that. But let's talk about where we are. The race is unchanged. Even Kamala's aides say that the race is unchanged. The ultimate challenge is for Kamala to be able to get people to support her because Trump's numbers are not moving. They are solid. They're not going anywhere. And she believes she's got to disqualify him. So what is she going to do? She's going to lie for the next few weeks. All right. She's going to say everything she needs to say, to make people believe he's going to take away their Social Security. He's going to take away health care. I mean, all stuff that's been debunked. And obviously the media is not going to help him with any of that stuff. But the crazy part about this is that Trump and Vance have done 48 interviews and she and Waltz have done 8. Now she wants to do Oprah Winfrey, I hear. Now that should be interesting. I can't imagine that's going to be a tough one for her. But at the end of the day, it's 54 days and she still hasn't done a solo presser. And she said, now she's saying she needs more debate. She's the one who turned down the debate at Fox in the beginning of September. Now she's feeling confident, and she wants more debates. But in the end, it's not going to do her any good. No one has changed. She hasn't changed anyone's mind. It's like she got out there and she spoke, and people were like, "Wow, she can talk for 2 minutes. She's good." And finally, I want to remind you of what Sanders said. He said, Bernie Sanders, her values never changed. I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. She's just pragmatic about what she needs to do to get elected.
So basically, this woman is okay with lying directly to your face. As long as you vote for her, she's going to say whatever the heck you want to hear. That doesn't mean that she has any intention on following up on what she told you. I mean, you heard it from Bernie Sanders himself. He was nearly the Democratic nominee last election. And when it comes to Oprah, who actually listens to these people anymore? They've exposed themselves for what they are. They are just shills. They're all part of the same group and the same party. They're never going to ask Kamala a tough question. I can't imagine many people will watch that interview, but if they do, I could imagine all they'll see is rehearsed questions, rehearsed answers, and a lot of forced laughs that aren't genuine. That's all this lady is. Kamala stands for nothing. She has no conviction in her words, and she just has to parrot those words in front of the television set just to get people like you to vote for her. But people are smarter than that, and we're not falling for these stupid tricks anymore.
Yeah. Talking about Kamala not ever working at McDonald's, talking about David Muir's hair.
Why would she lie about
How
McDonald's?
did you think the president did out there?
You know, I was just listening to him, and I was focusing on the issues, unlike you, Jesse. He talked about this. It's kind of a sense of how America is with sanctuary cities and crime, homelessness, mental illness. It's as though the chickens have come home to roost, which is a phrase I just coined. Every time the Democrats remove a boundary or a limit or a disincentive, it has a consequence, and it's a consequence they never mention. So when you see crime and the chaos and the frustration of the American people, those are the consequences. But there's one consequence that the Democrats should feel most responsible for: Donald Trump. He's the direct, I mean, they hate him, but he is the direct result of what they wrought. Democrats abandoned the foundations and structure of society, whether it's on the border, support for police, civil order, patriotism. These are all kind of together you feel and sense a decline. Do you think Trump would have even run if the state of the country was fine? Do you think he'd be doing this if crime, immigration, foreign policy, economy was operating under reasonable conditions? If he couldn't make it better, if he couldn't make it, even if as a self-interest person, you don't go in when things are going great, because then you look bad when it goes down. You go in at the bottom so you look good.
I always go in at the bottom.
That is true, Jesse, but let's leave your personal life out of this.
You sicko.
I don't think it's the MAGA movement that inspired Trump. It was the Democrats who drove this country down. Trump is fueled by the same thing that Americans are. We're just fed up with being fed up.
He's a turnaround artist. He came in 2016, did turn things around, and then it got wrecked. He's now coming back, looking for another comeback. You think he's got it?
Well, I remember talking to him in 2015, doing an interview when he was talking again about running for president. We all sort of said, is this another head fake? Because he does this and everybody gets very excited and wants to hear what he has to say. And when we were wrapping up that interview, he said to me, I don't feel like you're taking me seriously. And I said, because I think you've got so much at stake. And he said, that's why the only reason I would run, this is back in 2015, is if I thought I had to do it to save the country. I think that's truly where he's motivated from all those years ago. And listen, if most of the mainstream media, supporters of the vice president think she won the other night. And if you believe that, then you should want her to do the press conference that we saw with him today, where he's talking economy and border and crime and water usage rights. I mean, why not let her go out and show that she can do those things? She's got some caution from within her own party. Representative Clyburn, remember, just days ago said, I don't really think you should do the one-on-one interviews because they drill down and then you may end up saying something that could be used negatively against you. But that's the whole point of vetting a candidate.
That's the thing I admire most about Donald Trump, is that he would just stand there and he would just take questions from the crowd and he will answer them very articulately, and he has an answer for everything. You know it's him pulling the strings. You know he's behind all of these policy decisions. There's nobody telling him what to think, what to believe. He is unapologetically himself. And she is dead on with Donald Trump and why he's actually doing this, why he's putting himself through this torture day in and day out. It's for the American people. I mean, anybody who's looking hard enough can see that. He even said in a 1980 interview, he doesn't want to do politics, but if things got so bad, I would never want to rule it out entirely. He does not want to do this, but he's doing this because he sees it as an existential threat to our republic. If he did not enter the political arena, I don't like where our country would be right now, because he woke up millions of people who had no idea our country was being destroyed from within. So when Donald Trump apparently lost in 2020, I knew for a dead certainty he would be back. I'm like, I don't have to worry about this. I know he's coming back because that's just who he is. He's the fighting spirit. I said the same thing about when Tom Brady retired for the Patriots. I said, you know what? I don't think he's done. I think he's coming back. And what did he do? He won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. So hopefully Donald Trump can replicate that pattern and win one more in 2024 because we need it desperately. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. Was there ever a doubt in your mind whether Donald Trump would run again in 2020? And were you a fan of him when he first came on the scene in 2016? Let me know. I'd love to hear that. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash out like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.